morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to my studio. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about creativity and creatives. You're in my studio and you're at the where I actually sit and where I actually work. And as you can see, I'm a clutterbug. I work with all little sticky notes all the way around me. I work with my hands. And if you're not on a sticky note in front of my face, I probably forgot all about what I'm doing with you. Here's a note that says reverse painting on vellum. I did one. It didn't really go anywhere for me, but it was a reminder, and I could do that again. Another one here was gold leaf on board or paper for drawings with silk. So it didn't come out quite that way, but you know, these have been here a while. Another one is solitary people in doorways. And I haven't done them, but they're still there. There's still a thought. So that's one way that I work. But the main way that I get inspiration or begin to create is during dreams or during sleep. To begin with, as a kid, so I've done this my whole life. I don't know if you know who Quick Draw McDraw is. He was a drawing book character, and I think he was a horse, and he drew his pencil up like it was a gun. So Quick Draw McDraw, and then he'd draw a picture of this, that, and the other thing. I loved him. He was my hero. And so I would color him in my coloring book, but I also would dream about him all night, not all night, I would dream about him every night. And in the morning would wake up and I'd go, Quick Draw could be doing this, that, the other thing. So he was probably my first character that I worked a lot with. I have a lot of my work from when I was little, but those were younger than I actually have the work for. So they were in probably a kid's paper or whatever, and maybe they weren't kept. So as far as being able to create while sleeping, you can encourage yourself to do that. I'm not a great sleeper. I dream a lot, and I wake up a lot, and wake up with full, complete thoughts and ideas. I get up in the middle of the night, and I have this paper ring. I do everything pretty much on regular little notebook that I get from the drugstore, and I've squiggled out like the whole idea at 2:30 in the morning. And when I get back into the studio, it's like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I can then finalize it and come to fruition with what the thought process was. And I do it intentionally, of going to sleep with waiting for myself to become engaged with the universe, if you will, because it is a universal, or a universe speaking to me, or allowing myself to be open to hearing from the universe. And it's responding, not responses, but responding to things that we're all subject to all day long, all week long, on the news, everything, wherever you're inspired by, or just the amount of stimulus you get, I guess. So it's a processing of stimulation, and as a creative, I process it visually. I grew up in a visual family, and it was always like, yeah, whatever. I don't need to. No, nobody ever said I don't need to hear that. Sounds awful, but it was, go draw me a picture of that. And so I was kind of taught really young to express yourself visually with your hands, and we'll get it, and then we'll talk about it. So I've always done that, and it always has come basically while I'm sleeping. It's not like I go into the studio and go, okay, today I'm going to draw a truck. I don't know that I've ever drawn a truck. The other thing I wanted to talk about was mirrors. I'm doing this whole little talk with you today through a mirror, and there's a reason for it. I work with mirrors. I think I have 22 mirrors in my space. And it's not that I'm sitting there checking my lipstick all day long and going, oh, is my hair right? It has nothing to do with even seeing myself, although I do see myself. And I dance ballet, several times a week, and I'm in a studio with mirrors. So I'm really comfortable seeing myself and others in a reverse situation. But there's a different layer to it besides that. It adds depth to a room, so you can look at it from the interior decorator point of view, but it also adds a different layer of looking at the world. If you're looking at something through the mirror, just like you're watching me talk to you through a mirror. And you're watching what's behind me, what's in front of me. You're seeing my clutter. I'm taking off the mask of how I actually work. It allows me to be in a space and in another space at the same time. So it's a multi-dimensional aspect of working alone. And there's also the practical aspect of it, that this is right in front of my drawing table is a huge mirror. And if I need to know, how eyes are fitting into somebody's nose, I can have a reference right there. As you can see, my thumbs always stick out. I don't have thumbs that are straight. If you look at most of my work, somebody pointed that out to me because I didn't actually think about it. Most of my hands, all my work, have my thumbs sticking out. And I'm trying to think if you can see that. They do, and I'm not doing that on purpose. That's where they are naturally. So this is not natural for me. But it has more to do with the perception of seeing things in multiple dimensions is what I'm trying to actually say. So anyways, I'm glad you were able to stop by for a little studio visit today, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. This is Carol Scavato. I'm in Rhode Island.